So I want to talk about what alignment is and what it isn't. So alignment isn't just deciding to get all the information on a topic that you can get and throwing tons of darts at a dartboard and seeing what sticks. I see that a lot with people that are coming into our free membership, especially, and they have a lot of questions about, well, I really want to start a business. I have a lot of people who are coming in saying they want to make an impact as a coach or someone who wants to help people improve their lives, but they just don't know where to start. And they get stuck on the smallest details of, well, do I start my business making this video or that video? Or do I go this direction with this topic or that direction? Right? So it's always like, if they could just figure out the direction, then they'll be able to step into this aspirational self. Okay. So when you think about your aspirational self, I want you to think about over the years, even during the day, when you were a kid, you always have a vision of yourself in your mind that is dressed a certain way. Your hair is done a certain way. You have a certain sass, a certain spark, and you're doing certain things. You're living life a certain way, right? That is accessible to you. That is alignment. But the point in the middle is limbo. Like, we don't know how to really get there or step into there. So we think if we make the perfect choice that we're going to be able to be successful. If only we have a guarantee of a perfect choice and we know what the outcome is that we're going toward, and we could just pick that, then we're on the path to alignment. I say, no, that's really not how it works. The nervous system is getting in your way. So why is this? Okay. So what if I told you that the answer to these questions are really not what you're looking for? You'd be like, what are you talking about? I've been pondering, should I do this or that for so many years and I still can't figure it out. What if I told you the problem goes a little deeper? The issue isn't really, should you go this way or that way? The issue is that your nervous system is stuck in a state of constant protection and activation called a fight or flight state or a shutdown state. Okay. So in order to access what we should do and to get the clarity that we need our intuition to be strong. We need to know, number one, how our intuition works. Number two, how to interpret it. And number three, that our intuition is not offline for ourselves. So even if you are the world's most famous intuitive, and I've done this where I became known in my field for what I do for a living, which is intuitive channeling, right? And I would struggle with sometimes years those decisions of what should I do? Calling 10 people, calling other intuitives for trying to figure it out, going through my friends. And then I realized after doing a lot of my personal work and watching my clients cycle that you could be the most successful person. You can be making the most money. You can be the most aligned. You can be the most high producer in life. But if you're not connected to your own intuition, you could even have intuition that's off the charts as a reader, right? For other people, that is completely out of this world. That doesn't mean you're going to have intuition for yourself. When your nervous system is in protection mode and that you have that scattered thinking and that overwhelm and that fear and that anxiety, your intuition is completely offline. So what the nervous system does is it protects us. We have a certain amount of capacity based on our childhood experience, our early environment. Some people have trauma in their past. Some people don't want to consider it trauma, but they've had times in life where they felt alone in their pain and they didn't know how to work through certain difficult things. And so what happens is the nervous system gets chronically stuck. And what it does is it puts us in a path of indecision where we're constantly second guessing ourselves. The reason you're second guessing yourself is because you are not aligned with your self-trust and your core intuition. Once you are aligned there, you're not going to have those questions of, should I do this or that? To get there, we have to work on our nervous system grounding and regulation through a somatic practice. Those two, once they plug in, right, then we have to build capacity. So we have to build capacity to actually step into a bigger life and not stay small. So how do we build capacity? We expand our nervous system through the somatic practice, right, which expands our intuition. We need those two things to decide which direction we want to go. But sometimes people have the misconception that they just need to figure out which way to go. They want somebody to tell them which way to go. I could say, okay, let's sit down. And I can look into their pathway and say, all right, these are the videos you're supposed to make. This is in alignment with your spirit. This is your direction. What do you think is going to happen? They're not going to be able to step into it. It's because the nervous system is keeping you in safety by keeping you going back and forth, because it knows subconsciously that if you were to step into this and actually start, you would have to become vulnerable to yourself, to the world. You would have to be more open. You would have to be more seen. If you're seen, right? What does that put you out there for? It puts you out there to be like, oh, well, people could not like what I'm doing. I could fail. I could succeed. Oh my God, I could succeed and I could win. And that means I'd have to perform consistently at a high level. Do I have that capacity? Or it's like, what if I step into this and I don't do a good job or I disappoint somebody? So we don't have to feel any of those uncomfortable feelings. Our nervous system will keep us in this perfectionism of, I don't know which way to go. I can tell you right now that you won't ever know which way to go. There won't ever be a perfect answer, because if you're moving on your path to your highest level of alignment, you're going to start in one direction. And as you continue to take aligned action, specifically with the grounded nervous system, with your intuition online, you will be able to constantly refine the path and refine the purpose and refine to the next step. And you'll be getting intuitions as you go along to your next step. So you couldn't possibly ever plan the outcome, because it's going to refine over time. The universe is going to help you to do that. It's going to help you realign as you go along. So if you're waiting for that right guarantee of the end of the journey rather than taking the journey itself, you're not going to start. But the reason why you're not starting is not because you don't know the answer. It's not because you don't know the pathway. You can get that illumination, you can get that insight, but stepping in is the challenge. And that's what your system's protecting you from. So I'd love for you to get not only today's message, but to come and get more trainings, more bonus content. It's in my free community called Momentum. It's a manifesting, igniting your intuition, and somatically, meaning of the body and your nervous system, grounding and balancing to step into a bigger life. Stop living small and stepping into your most aligned life. So make sure you join below. It's free. And when you come into the community, I'm there and we're moving people into action.